My name is Michael Hawkins. I'm actually director of traditional admission here at Belhaven. Went to Belhaven all 4 years, graduated in 2013. I've been working in the admission office ever since. So obviously I'm a fan of Belhaven a little bit. Um, yeah, it's just a unique school. A lot of opportunities. Continues to be the reason why I keep sticking around is just how involved and committed the staff and faculty are to the student and their success and ultimately all of our future. Belhaven is a Christian university, just around 1,000 traditional students, average classroom size of about 13 students, kind of give you an idea. So definitely more of your hands-on type of learning, more of that mentorship with the faculty as well. And of course, I know we were also going to get into all the different programs and kind of what we're known for, but very briefly, I mean, we're known for the arts, known for the sciences. One of our largest majors is business as well. But then we got new fun, different majors within those as well.
Okay. So if someone is interested in Belhaven, let's start at the very beginning. How do they apply? When is the earliest time they can start applying as a rising senior, and what's needed to apply?
Sure. So application is open now. We open the application in the summer, typically beginning of June, for our rising seniors for that coming year. They will also need to send in their transcript and possibly their test scores. We are actually test optional, so it depends on how they want to pursue the application process. But I'll talk about those individually. So application, transcript, and test scores. Or just transcript, and the admission requirements for that for automatic admission is a 2.0 with an 18 or higher ACT. And then with the test optional, it'd be a 2.75 GPA or higher for automatic admission. We do work with students individually as well, so if they fall maybe a little bit below that, we do have another process to where they can be reviewed by the admission committee. So definitely let us know. We want to work with all students on that.
Okay. So for students that are coming in the test optional route, does that impact them for scholarships?
They don't have as many options, or the scholarships don't go quite as high for that category, but they do still qualify for scholarships because every admitted student here at Belhaven qualify for the academic scholarship at least, and then we actually then pursue multiple others with them.
Okay, so everybody that's admitted is going to get at least an academic scholarship minimum.
That's right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay. And does that go up by a certain matrix on their ACT GPA, or is it more of a holistic review? It looks at a lot of their
academic scholarship is definitely based on their academics. So it's a chart based on where they fall on that. And then we do have additional scholarships like the Blazer Scholarship, which is one of my favorites actually, because I think all of us can agree that we're so much more than just our academic ability. So this is a category that we're able to evaluate for based on the student as a whole, what they're involved in, leadership roles, or even just, yeah, if I had to sum it up in one word, it'd be character, honestly. So the process for that, though, is really we just need to be in communication with the students. So it's important for us to get to know them and advocate for them for those funds.
Okay. So having a good relationship with your admissions counselor is very important at Belhaven.
That's right, because we want to work with each individual student. That's right.
Okay. So if they are submitting test scores as an incoming student, can they submit like super scores for admission and scholarship consideration?
They can, which is great. Yep.
That is great. I know that's making a difference for a lot of students now.
It is.
I wish I'd had it when I was in college. 1 or 2 more points would have been a big difference. But
it's a more recent change for us. So I'm really excited that we're moving in that direction as well.
Okay. And then you were mentioning some of the unique scholarships. I'm assuming the academic is automatic once they're admitted. That process, once their file's complete, they get that. And then the Blazer Scholarship, they're just in communication and have to have a lot of character and things like that. Is there a place for them to indicate that? Is there a scholarship application that they fill out? Is there a resume that they send in? How does separate from academics, how does that scholarship process work?
So there's not an application. Typically the process for that evaluation, what triggers that is the FAFSA. Although the FAFSA is not required So that's just, we just need to know if they're wanting to fill that out or not. Obviously, I highly recommend filling out the FAFSA.
Okay.
Because we got different options based on that. So yeah, the Blazer scholarship is reviewed during that time. But we also have like the visit scholarship of $1,000. So if they come and visit campus, whether that's, I mean, we want them to come see campus. We think that's the best way to really go about making your decision, seeing if it's a good fit for you. But it's $1,000, whether it's that or virtual. We will meet with people virtually if needed. We would love to accommodate in that way. In addition to that, we have the opportunity grant, which that's based on financial need. So that's an evaluation that we do on our end. It's not anything else they have to do, but to qualify for that, you do have to fill out the FAFSA. So that is the one requirement for that. Because since it's based on financial need, we do have families that maybe don't qualify for the Pell Grant, but still qualify for the Opportunity Grant. So that's why, again, we encourage people to fill out the FAFSA so that we can see if that's an option or not. We also have a legacy scholarship, which if they had a sibling or parent or grandparent that went to Belhaven, graduated, then they get $500 each year.
Okay.
And we even had where siblings were at Belhaven at the same time. Maybe one's a junior, one's a freshman, or some combo like that, and both of them are awarded the legacy scholarship while they're here as well. So great opportunity with that. Trying to see, we've got, I think that's the main chunk. And then, like I said, there's no hidden scholarships here at Belhaven. We really do want to sit down and go through the whole process with our families to make sure that we're getting the maximum amount and getting everything that they should to attend Belhaven.
Yeah, that opportunity grant that you were describing, that's the very reason we encourage all students to fill it out, because you may not qualify for federal aid, but you could still qualify for institutional aid. And so you could miss out on funds if you don't complete it. So you mentioned, I just want to clarify, you mentioned that the FAFSA is not required. Is that it's not required for all students or at all? Because I know some schools, in order to disperse scholarship funds, they do make you fill out the FAFSA. So if you are receiving a scholarship, do you have to have it on file?
We have to have it on file to receive the opportunity grant.
But the other ones, no.
No.
Okay.
We do.
Is that a recent change? Has it been required in the past?
We generally operate in the context that we need to have that, just so that we can make sure we maximize all of their funds that they should qualify for. But it's not, ultimately it is not required. If a family chooses not to or would rather not to, that's okay.
Okay. If they are choosing to complete the FAFSA, and you and I always encourage it, and Get to College always encourages it, is there a priority date that they should have it completed?
There's not, but really, the sooner the better. As I'm sure you're aware of, I mean, everything just continues to move in that direction. So the sooner we can get that in, the sooner we can get the awards to them, make sure that they're getting the max amount.
Okay. That's what I figured. Maximum consideration until those funds run out.
That's right.
So going back to students that might qualify for an academic scholarship, is there a last test date for ACT that they could try and get an updated scholarship? Could they continue
Really,
to
it's
test?
just before classes start.
Okay, so they could test even through the summer after they graduate.
That's right. We would still love to consider those and take that in consideration. That's right.
Okay. So once students are talking to our team, usually about where they want to go and how they're going to pay for it, and the school environment overall, one of the big things we get asked is regarding their housing. So how does housing work? Is there an application for housing that opens at a certain time of the year? Is there a deadline? That whole process. Can you walk us through the details?
Yeah, so as soon as the student is accepted, they will then have what's called a BlazeNet here at Belhaven, because we're Belhaven Blazers. And on that account, they will be able to gain access to their student portal. On their student portal is where they'll be able to then basically start filling out their housing application, where it's like filling out a bio, when they like to be awake, are they a morning person, night person, all those different things, and really set up the account. But then April 1st is when they're actually able to fill out and choose their room. And so there's not an end time to that, but it is based on first come, first serve. So it's definitely important for those who are wanting the specific residence hall or specific room to do that as soon as possible.
Okay. That's a pretty late time in the year to give them plenty of time to consider like who they want to live with and where they want to live. And that's great. So aside from housing, any other like things that students should know about living on campus? Like what are some student involvement activities? Are there new programs or new athletic teams coming? Anything exciting going on with campus for them to get involved in outside of school?
Sure, absolutely. So I feel like there's something going on every single night. It's
Okay.
kind of the case, whether that's athletic events or goodness, shows as well. Because I mean, we're like I said, we're known for the arts, so we've got and credited in all four of the major arts. So that's theater, music, dance, visual art. So actually balancing those schedules, a lot of times there's multiple things happening on the same night. So they can go and be a part of those, but also on an individual level, if they're wanting to be a part of a specific organization, we've got a lot of ministries on campus that do fun events, like Reformed University Fellowship, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a couple others as well, to where it's communities here on campus. Um, and there's even just random pop-up times where there's food. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Those are always a great time. We also have Belhaven's activities team, which is a group that you can volunteer and be a part of that actually plans all of our activities, whether it's just fun events. But of course, you could go and be a part of those free of charge. And that's something that I also really like about Belhaven is, yeah, we got to work out the finances, scholarships, make sure we know what you owe and what you're going to be investing in. But then beyond that, you get to just worry about the main things, which is being a student, being a part of activities. And so there's no additional costs to all of those events.
You mentioned something that I wanted to go back and discuss a little bit further because I don't think students recognize how unique this is that you at Belhaven, y'all are accredited in all four of the arts. That's a pretty unique selling point for a university. Not a lot of universities are accredited in all four. Can you talk about that?
So in the nation, we're one of 35 schools.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a big deal when you start looking at those. It's not about just having the major. It's good to have an accredited program so that you can have that good foundation stepping forward. So yeah, like I said, that's in dance, visual art, theater, and music. But we have additional arts that come off that as well. We also have film, creative writing, the only BFA in creative writing. Um, Christian from Christian University, and that's the other thing is when you start throwing in the Christian worldview and the Christian school aspect, very few schools that offer this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really, really unique academic offering at Belhaven, certainly. You also mentioned there were some new programs coming earlier in a comment. You mentioned some new, their majors, minors, new courses of
Yeah,
study.
that's right. So we got three new ones that I'm pretty excited about: sales management and supply chain management, which those are both under our business um, umbrella, and those are just great opportunities and continue to be great job opportunities for students when graduating and actually finding a job. There's a huge need, which is great to be able to specialize in that. And then also we've got actuarial science, which is under the math department. And basically coming out of that, it's very easily then to pursue a job all the way up into six figures. So if you're able to come through that program, it is heavy in the math side, but it's a slightly different route than just getting a math degree. It's very specific and more of the business world.
Okay. Yeah, I would imagine anyone going into supply chain management right now would have job offers.
That's right. That's
waiting
right.
on them when they graduate after what we all have just gone through in the last year. So speaking of that, the last year, everybody knows it's looked differently for just any real life component, but especially in education, higher ed, high school education has just looked different. What are some things that Belhaven has in place to help students as they transition to college and make that transition successfully? So, talk to me about student resources like health centers, counseling centers, things like that. I feel like students this year may be a little bit more apprehensive about going off to college because of just this last year has been so different.
Sure. Yeah, it has been crazy, to say the least. What's great is Belhaven's actually already been set up for this. Not that you ever want anything crazy like this to happen, but you always prepare for the worst. And so we have an entire department dedicated to student care. That's the department name, the student care, to where they are focused on student success academically, but also as a whole, because again, we're a whole being. That we're so much more than just that. Um, So not only do we have 3 people in that office dedicated and reaching out to students, but that's also where tutoring is housed. So if you need any help or have any questions, uh, that is available and it's completely free. And so I encourage and urge students that if they do have questions or need help, to use those services. And that again is also just in addition to actually reaching out to your professor, because they are dedicated to um, helping students get to where they need to and be successful. Whether that's you just swing by during their office hours or before and after class, or even setting up an appointment with them. So those are all things that are set up. We also have um, a on-campus full-time campus counselor
Okay.
for our students only. And that is for the first session, it's completely free for the student. The 2 through 6 sessions, it's $5. And then any after that, it's $40, which even the $40 compared to counselors just in the area is a great price. So we really are committed to our students' health, our student success and care. Um, that's just to name a few, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you've pretty much answered some of the questions that I know we get asked a lot and that are the forefronts of students' minds. But is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to share with students or those counselors or CCR teachers that might be watching?
Yeah, we've got 2 awesome opportunities for students right now. Incoming freshmen, it's 2 for, so yeah, I'll just go through that. So double major, if a student decides to double major, they can have their 5th year completely tuition free, which is a great opportunity to not only just set oneself apart when applying for jobs, or it could be a way to really pair a couple majors specific for a specific job, like maybe business and dance, and they want to open their own dance studio,
Mhm.
um, which some of our students were already doing. The biggest thing is, I mean, just more and more, we're finding our students who are already interested in that and wanting that. And so this is an awesome opportunity, financial opportunity to pursue that. In addition to that, all of our students who are coming this fall and they finish out all 4 years or just finish out their time with us, um, they actually then qualify for a free online master's as well, which is just a
Okay.
huge financial benefit for anyone who's paid for their master's, but also to have that opportunity to further your education and once again set yourself farther apart from the crowd when looking for jobs and setting yourself up for that success.
So if they attend all 4 years, get their degree, they can then get an online master's degree for free.
You got it.
Okay. And then going back to the double major, does a student have to declare that double major coming in, or could they decide, like a student that's going to be in the, fall 2022 entering class, could they decide their sophomore year they want a double major and then
They
also receive
can.
that benefit? Okay.
That's right. They don't have to declare their freshman year. They can take some time, or I mean, for me, my thoughts on what I wanted to be when I grew up changed through college. So that's totally fine. There is a point where you get too far along in your degree. So senior year, you start running into complications as far as applying for that double major. But I mean, we have academic advisors that are all specifically assigned to each student who are talking with them each semester, making sure that they're on plan and we're pursuing what they want. But they have some flexibility of when they apply for that.
Those are amazing benefits. Again, that's kind of something kind of going back to the accreditation in the arts. I don't know that students will fully understand how big of a deal that is, but those are 2 incredible benefits
That's right.
for students. And theoretically could take advantage of both, I'm assuming.
You got it.
Okay, they could stack them, kind of like in scholarships, they stack
That's right.
both those benefits, get a double major and then turn around and get a
That's
master's
right.
degree in something.
You
Okay.
got it. And I
Wow.
will also note that the free masters never expire. So they can choose to do it as soon as they graduate, or they can do it in a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years. Whenever they would like to cash that in, they can then pursue that.
Okay, that's awesome.
hmm
I think that really answers everything I was curious about. Any last things you want to share?
I think that's really pretty much it at this point. I mean, again, I can't stress enough. We would love to talk to any counselor, talk to each individual student. We're here to serve. Let us know how we can help. All of you at Get to College, love what y'all are doing. Just continue to let us know how we can help support and serve you all through all this.
Thanks for taking time with us today, Michael.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
day.
All right. Bye.